as Paul was saying, not out of compulsion, not that you have to, but choose in your heart. This is not something that you're required to give before God. So I want you to look at this list that I have here, because there's two kinds of giving when it comes to worship. There is the part that's commanded. The tithe is commanded. A whole giving ourselves wholly to God. He says in Romans 12:1, therefore I urge you, brothers, to give yourself wholly as a living sacrifice. So there's the urge and the command part. There's the tithe, that command part. There's obedience. And the command parts do two things. When we obey those commands, they express both obedience, but they express trust. Because with a tithe, we don't know for sure that we're going to have. So to give in response to that command is an expression of trust. That God, I choose to trust in you. I give myself to you. And that is worship in response to the command. And then there's this other category that is a free will offering. It's not commanded. You don't have to do this. It's not sin if you don't. But if you do, then there's blessing. But it's more of a relationship if you think about it. Because we're doing this unto God. Just like you would with someone who you love. You don't have to give a gift at a birthday or at some occasion. But you give a gift partially as a reflection of your caring for that person. It is a sign of love. It is one of the languages of love, that giving. And so that giving out of choice or desire expresses both love. It also expresses thankfulness. Because if you look at the end of this passage here, he says, the free will offerings and the firstborn of your herds and flocks, we've talked about that and the dependency there, the trusting in God. He says, there in the presence of the Lord your God. Okay, so the first part is that we're coming to God, to His presence where He is. You and your family shall eat and rejoice. So there is a thanksgiving. There is a joy. And he says, in everything you have put your hand to, because Yahweh your God has blessed you. So it is a recognition of thankfulness, of saying, God, you have blessed me incredibly, and therefore I am going to worship you by giving. And that is a reflection of worship. That is worship. And that's why, in titling this, I said worship, giving ourselves to God. Because worship primarily is a definition of showing the worth and value of something by how we give. How we give our money, how we give our time, how we give our attention, our focus, and our life. And that is saying, this is important to me, and I am going to give because it is of extreme value, and that is a demonstration of that. And it is both, in the command we have the trust and the dependence that is formed, and then we also have the love and the relationship, the thankfulness, the gratitude that flow out of it as well. So as we come to worship on Sundays, think about these aspects. Because first of all, it shouldn't only happen on Sunday. Because really, our worship should be part of that relationship. Because if it's only on Sunday, we've already demonstrated that it's not worth that much. And then when we're coming on Sunday, recognizing that I am giving my focus, my time, my attention, my energy, my thankfulness, my money, my time, my everything that I have to God. I'm giving it to Him. Because, as the song says, it's all about you. It's not about me. Because if it's about me, I'm worshiping me. It's about God. Worship is a vertical response towards God. So, there's probably a lot of other questions that could come out of this. I know the topic of tithing, obviously there was a lot of questions and there's a lot of practical things that can be talked about. We might talk about that at another point. But the focus here that I really wanted to start us off on is really looking at our lives and the definition of worship and how to really give to God our whole life. So, let's pray.